Now, what kind of commitment is asked of the participants themselves in any of these programs, or if you want to break them down? Because I would imagine, there's one thing to show up, but then what is that commitment beyond the fact that you show up for X number of weeks or X number of hours?
Sure. So I think really the commitment is just to be an active participant in your own health care. So, so while you're at the workshop each week, you'll set up an action plan. And that can be something as simple as this week I'm going to do some research on my condition. And my confidence level in being able to do that is between 1 and 10, my confidence level is a 7. So our hope is to have everyone's confidence level be a 7 or above when they're setting up action plans. And if it's a 7 or higher, then we know it's pretty likely someone's going to follow through with what their action plan is. If it's not, then the facilitators and the rest of the group will help the individual come up with maybe alter that action plan to support them. And it's a very empowering workshop. All of the workshops are very empowering, but I've been a leader, so I get excited about the workshops because I've seen how effective they can be and seen how participants come out of there feeling really, really empowered and really good about their taking charge of their wellness.
Yeah, they are very interactive, and so being able to share those ideas and supporting those who may have a challenge in coming up with their own action plan. And so sometimes being able to hear what other participants are choosing to do might, trigger a thought for them of, oh wait, yeah, I wanted to go out and plant a garden, or I wanted to take a 5-minute walk, and I'm going to set my timer to do that. So it's all about that interactive piece and that peer support piece.
Well, I would imagine the other thing that's very important that I think people need to understand before they would ever step foot inside is that these are individualized programs, because everybody does not have the same goals, they don't have the same timelines, but it sounds to me like with what you're doing is that it's very specific to an individual, to what their goals are, and then trying to keep them on track to achieving those so that they don't feel defeated.
Right. That's really the number one strategy in developing an action plan, is that it has to be something that you want to achieve. Can't be anybody else. Can't be what your doctor wants you to achieve.
Sure.
It has to be what you want to achieve. And then you'll find that you'll be much more effective. Yeah.
Well, and I think, the overriding factor of all of these workshops is the fact that there's a lot of people who really, for their own long-term good, need to come up with self-management plans to try to counteract either a condition they currently have or one that they may be susceptible to if things don't change. And I think so many times people forget that it's not the doctor that's deciding on what is or isn't going to be good for them.
Right.
If you know what I mean. I mean, the doctor can't say and do for an individual. They can tell you that something may be good for you, but unless you take the initiative, things aren't going to change.
Yeah. And I think that the workshops are very empowering in giving participants their own voice to be able to say, this is my goal and this is what I want to work on. It may get me to where my provider wants me to be, but I think that it's opening that door for that possibility and opportunity for that participant to advocate for themselves.